What is going on, guys? This is Michael Williams from Cartoon Universe, and today I wanted to talk about a new gem that we got mentioned in the latest Steven Universe special, Wanted, by the new gem, Rhodonite. Now, we've only heard this name once, we don't know much about her, but I figured it'd be pretty fun to speculate on her backstory, what her role may have been in Homeworld, all that good stuff. Not much to go off of, so this is probably going to be a short video. I say that every time, and it always ends up being like 15 minutes, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be pretty short because there's not a ton of info to go off of. So, in the Wanted special, we meet an off-color gem named Rhodonite, who was confirmed to be a Pearl and Ruby fusion by Rebecca Sugar, which is very interesting. We don't actually hear that in the show. Hopefully, we'll actually get some info on that in the show at some point in the near future. But basically, her backstory is that she was replaced after their Morganite found out that they were fusing. And obviously, the two gems fusing is very taboo and not something that is smiled upon in Homeworld at all, as we saw in the answer and the way Blue Diamond reacted to Ruby and Sapphire fusing. This is a very similar situation where it's a Ruby and a Pearl. Ruby's always be getting into trouble, man. But who is Morganite? So they said they were owned by Morganite, and we know that Pearls are usually owned by gems that are more higher up, have higher status than other gems. So who was Morganite? What was her purpose? Well, as usual, I like to go into the real life meanings of certain gems because, as you may know, Steven Universe, the gem characters in Steven Universe usually take some influence from the real life meanings of the gems. Not always, but it is a thing that happens. So I kind of wanted to look at Morganite's meaning in the real life, and it's actually kind of hard to tell what her deal is by this because there's not a lot of new, like, interesting little tidbits that connect Morganite to anything in particular. Basically, Morganites represent peace, divine love, compassion, and healing. And obviously, this sounds a lot like Rose Quartz. It's almost identical. She's all about peace and love and compassion, empathy, and literally healing. So I wonder what this was about. Now, Morganites are pink, so she was probably in Pink Diamond's court, obviously. And it does look like Rhodonite was also part of Pink Diamond's court, so that all kind of adds up. And this actually goes back to Rose being in Pink Diamond's court, and Rose being, you know, about peace and healing and all that good stuff. So this kind of connects, if this is the case, and if this meaning of Morganite is actually relevant to the character Morganite, whether she'll matter or not remains to be seen. But if this is kind of connecting back to Morganite, it kind of reinforces the idea that Pink Diamond may have been one of the nicer of the diamonds. She may have actually been very compassionate and caring for her gems and other living things outside of gems. And this was something that's been speculated for quite a while. Earth was her only colony, so she seemed like she was the younger of the few, so she may have been more easygoing than Yellow Diamond or Blue Diamond, or maybe even White Diamond, even though we know nothing about White Diamond. So if this is the case, this kind of reinforces that not only Pink Diamond, but maybe pretty much all of her court were kind of more on the nice spectrum of things. Now, this could be the exact opposite. As we've seen with Ruby and Sapphire, they actually have opposite meanings in terms of their rarity. So in real life, rubies are much more rare and sapphires are very common in comparison. But in the show, rubies are the common soldiers and sapphires a rare aristocratic gem and super valuable. So this could be a similar situation here where in real life, Morganites are all about peace, divine love, compassion, and healing. But in the show, she's not at all. She's complete opposite. She has no empathy. She doesn't care for others. She's very cruel. That would add up if she did end up turning Ruby and Pearl away for fusing and just being themselves, because this would lead to them being straight up shattered. But another possibility is that she was very compassionate and she was forced to have to shatter them, or, you know, threaten to shatter them, or maybe she told them to just run away so she didn't have to shatter them. She could have possibly helped them escape Homeworld's tyranny and hide underground. That would be pretty interesting to see, and I think that would be kind of cool to have that contrast of when Ruby and Sapphire first fused in Blue Diamond's court, and then have a contrast of someone from Pink Diamond's court actually try to help the person who fused, because maybe she was threatened to be shattered if she didn't turn them away and replace them. So she may have been kind of influenced by Homeworld's rules and what she had to do, so she maybe, you know, maybe helped them out, like, yeah, just get out of here, let's not talk about this. Because kind of similar to how Aquamarine handled Topaz, but we'll make a whole video on that later this week. But why was she so important. She owned a pearl. This means she was a higher up gem. She had some type of higher class, higher stakes. So why was she so important? Well, I have no idea. She was similar to rose quartz, potentially, if Morganite's translation from real life actually kind of fits in. Maybe she was a better rose quartz, so she had healing powers that were augmented somehow. I'm not sure how that would work, because Rose's healing powers are pretty on point, my boy. I don't know how you could get much better than Rose's healing powers, especially since she could bring organic life back from the dead. Son, I don't know how you get much better than that. She probably has some other type of ability or power, or maybe she's just very rare, maybe she was very durable. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe she's just overall stronger than Rose, like physically, which wouldn't really make sense if Rose was the soldier type. Morganite would probably be a more uppity, higher class type. So I'm not sure if that would necessarily make sense. We actually may have seen Morganite somewhere in the answer. There's a lot of gems that we are not familiar with that are just kind of these little minimalistic pictures, so we can't really make out what they are for the most part. So we may have actually seen Morganite in the answer, or maybe we even had seen the ruby or the pearl, the pink pearl, not pink diamond's pearl, but the pearl that was there watching ruby and sapphire fuse, and they may have been inspired by that and may have gotten super feely and maybe saying, oh my god, this is a thing that can happen. This is so beautiful. Two gems fusing together and being one. That's just so amazing. So they actually could have been there. Maybe even Morganite was there, and maybe Morganite was touched by that moment as well, if this does add up. And if Pink Diamond's core is more compassionate than the rest of the quartz, that would be very, very interesting. Now, we might see Morganite in the future, or she may have just been a quick name drop. I'm not really sure. The only thing is, like, there's a lot of characters right now. I mean, we're already dealing with our main cast of, and this is just gems, by the way. This isn't even counting Beach City characters or human characters. We already have Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. Garnet and Amethyst have pretty much had their backstories and character development, stuff like that, but Pearl, we still know nothing about Pearl's backstory, and Rebecca Sugar did mention that in the live event, if you saw that video as well, how that was like the only character we don't know too much about. And we already have to deal with our Pearl, let alone some other Pearl that was belonged by Morganite. And then we have Peridot's development, we have Lapis's development, we have a potential Jasper redemption arc at some point. Bismuth is still bubbled and is probably going to come back at some point. And now we have all these new gems, and all of them are pretty interesting. So like Rutile, I don't think there's too much to say about Rutile. She was a gem that came out wrong. She's twins, so it's like, or they, whatever. They, you know, that's pretty much all there is. But Fluorite, we don't know much about Fluorite, and what gems make her up, what her story is, how they all came together to be this gem, why they came together to be this gem. We could learn a lot about that. Paparacha, we pretty much know all we need to know about her, but she may actually play a pivotal role in the future of exposing what happened to Pink Diamond and all that stuff. That's a theory that's been going around a lot in the community. So she's definitely an interesting character, and she's a fan favorite, so she probably gets some more shine once the Cooniverse sees the reaction to her, because she's just so adorable and people really love her. So we'll probably get more on her. And then we have Rhodonite. And I think it would be kind of redundant to have Rhodonite's story be the same thing as Garnet's story. Like, oh no, they fuse. It's a forbidden love or forbidden friendship, whatever it is. And they can't be together like this, so they run away. It's pretty much the same thing. So I think it would be interesting if we do get some backstory from Rhodonite, for it to be the complete opposite, where her Morganite actually was all for it, but she had to push her away as to save her. But like I said, there's a lot of characters here, so I don't know if we have time for that. So we may never even hear about Morganite ever again. It's probably not directly relevant to anything, but who knows? Who knows? They could actually end up coming to fruition and actually play a pivotal role in the plot. But that's it. I just kind of wanted to speculate on what Morganite was and how we may see her, what her role may have been. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Do you think we'll see Morganite? Do you think she's important? What do you think she was all about? Be sure to let us know. Definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for more Steven Universe discussions and theories and reviews and all that good stuff and all things animation. Be sure to hit that notification bell right next to the button so you can be notified when we post this kind of stuff. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like and follow us on all the social media things. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Michael Williams. You've been watching Cartoon Universe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.